Hey guys, what is going on today? Bojo here, back again for our NHL 16 BGM following the Philadelphia Flyers. We are currently editing up our trade block here before we get started with the Year 5 draft. So, as you guys know, we got knocked out of the Year 5 playoffs by the Carolina Hurricanes, or Year 4 playoffs, I should say, in the second round in 7 games. So, there needs to be some changes to this Philadelphia Flyers team. And I gave you guys a free will of what probably should be changed with this team. Now, I was expecting a lot of people to definitely bring some changes to the back end. But surprisingly enough, most of the people here and in the comments section wanted to keep this defensive core intact. The way you guys are explaining it to me seems like every single defenseman will fit into a certain role on this team. Now, whether dependent upon who gets overall boosts and whatnot, this could be a really good defensive team. Although they might not put up the points and we might not have a right-handed shot anywhere on the defense, you guys were pretty keen on keeping this whole group together. So Provorov, Haig, Sanheim, Morin, and Gostisbehere are not going to be going anywhere. Delzato is on the final year of his contract, and I do believe we are going to be dropping Michael Delzato off to free agency because I do believe that Ulf Bachmann, the right-handed defenseman that will soon be joining this Flyers team on the top 6 pair, will be good enough to go. His shooting is pretty much there in the high 80s for the categories that matter. He has a good wrist shot, which is always nice. Puck skills definitely can work on a bit, but his defense is actually pretty good as well for an offensive defenseman. 81 for defensive awareness, obviously you can get that up there, but his shot blocking and stick checking are pretty good up in the mid to upper 80s. So, and he has medium potential to become a top 4 defenseman. So we believe that Ulf Bachmann, our 3rd overall pick in 2017, so that was 2 years ago, or last year's draft, yeah. So we moved up in the draft, remember, to get the 3rd overall pick. And we ended up drafting Ulf Bachmann with that 3rd pick, so that was pretty good for us here. We do have 2 first-round picks coming into this year's draft as well, so we might actually try to move up yet again to get ourselves a nice high little draft pick. But for right now, it looks like Provorov, Haig, Sanheim, Morin, Gostisbehere, and Bachmann look to be the defensemen moving forward. So, looks like we're going to have 1 defensive defenseman, 2 offensive guys, and then 3 two-ways in Provorov, Haig, and Sanheim. Now that that's out of the way, when it comes to forwards, we're probably going to see if we could trade TJ Oshie at the draft here, because TJ Oshie has just been slowly progressing downward on that downward trend. And I do want to make some cap room here for the next couple of years, even though his cap is going to be up at 2 years. I don't want to be left with his $4 million contract next year, because that's when I believe Provorov needs to be signed, and I believe somebody else needs to be signed as well next year, defensive-wise. Who is it? It is, yeah, Provorov will be up. Actually, no, we have Provorov for 2 more years. Well, no, it'll be 1 more year, including next year, so that's that. And also, Bachmann will need to be signed to his contract, including Moran, and Moran will need to be signed as well the following year. Well, actually, this coming year. So we want to get rid of TJ Oshie. We want to get some cap. Excuse me. That came out of nowhere. But yeah, we want to get rid of TJ Oshie. We want to get rid of that cap. We're going to see if we can go back to the Giroux, Simmons, and Voracek on the top line. See if we can get back to those good old days. Even though dropping TJ Oshie off means we'll probably have an empty hole in the second line. But that's where I'm hoping that somebody down here, whether it be Travis Konechny, whether it be a Timu Meyer, whether it be a Nathan Noel, whether it be a Eric Cornell or a Julien Gauthier, somebody along those lines, Julian's right there, whether it be one of those guys, hopefully they can get up to a point where they're a 3rd line checker, but then we can move them up to the 2nd line and see where they might fit out with Sean Couturier and Braden Shen. Hopefully a sniper type of player would be nice, or even Travis Konechny would be good, getting a playmaker up there as well. So we'll see what happens with those 2 guys. But yeah, I think TJ Oshie's time here has been, it's time to go. He's 32, like I said. His point totals are slowly dropping off. We need to sign Wayne Simmons this year, so it's really Pick a two-way forward. TJ, you spent a nice 2 years here, but I think it's time to move on from you. I threw Nick Matan on the trading block as well, just to see if we get any interest from any teams, because he's still a depth player. So if he's still a depth player, I mean, I wouldn't be against holding him on the team, because if he's a depth player, he's happy being in a depth role. So we can hold on to that high overall player that Nick Matan does have, and in case any injuries do occur with that, we can hold on to him. Now let's go to surplus here. Surplus. We really don't have much in the surplus department. I mean, yeah, there's nothing really we could put in surplus. Actually, let me remove that asset because I do not want that. Let's do that. And then for our wants, one thing we could put into our wants category is we can remove the top 4 and the top 6 defensemen, but we can leave in the second line player. That is something definitely we can look towards. Potential minimum, let's go for at least 4 stars for potential. The age, let's look for somebody fairly young, I would say. Somebody either fairly young or in their prime. So let's go between the ages of 18 and 24. Let's go for that. Player role needs to be a second line forward of some sort. 18 and 24 potential there. Salary doesn't matter. And I'm looking for a sniper on that second line. So I want their shooting category to be really good. At least like 4.5 stars for shooting. And I think that's it. That's the only kind of asset I'm looking for right there, is the second line forward. 18 to 24, we can move that. And that's pretty much the only look I'm looking for. Current picks and future picks. You know what? Firsts, yes. Seconds, yes. Thirds and fourths we can leave off. Actually, thirds you can leave on. 4th round picks, I'm not looking for anything past 4th rounds. And then future picks, yeah, we can leave the future picks all on. So we might get a lot of trades next season, but I actually like that. I want to see what trades computers will actually come at me with for the next year. So that's our little trade block, little edit there. But let's go into the draft and let's see what we can do. So we know we're going to be doing a lot of rebuilding in the offseason for sure, but it's not going to be like trading many players. It's just going to be like, you know, your time is up here, your contract is up with us, so go to free agency, we have more players to replace you. It's going to be like a drop and replace type of free agency deal like this. So, but as for this draft, we can see what we got to deal with here. So, remember, we do have 2 first-round picks here, and we should have some pretty late picks. Yeah, we have the 23rd overall pick and the 18th overall pick in this first round. Alright, so let's see. Let's make a trade for these picks here. Let's see how many teams are actually going to be interested in TJ Oshie. So, Detroit didn't want him. Florida didn't want him. The LA Kings, most of the teams that do want him want Cap. Well, actually, you know what? The LA Kings wanted him, right? Yeah, the LA Kings did want TJ Oshie. We might be able to take some salary back from the LA Kings. So, let's see what the LA Kings have prospects-wise. Well, actually, I want a draft pick. They have the first overall pick in this year's draft anyway, so maybe the Los Angeles Kings will be willing to part with that first-round pick for TJ Oshie and maybe something else. So let's see. If we give up the first, we would give up probably some salary back in this deal. Let's see. All skaters for the LA Kings. Have to take back some salary. So let's sort this by salary. Highest overall salary with lowest trade value. Gotta look at the years left as well. That would be Ravel, maybe. No, he has 3 years left, though. Ryan Stanton's really unhappy. He has 1 year left on his deal, which means once this is over. So we can take back Ryan Stanton. He's really disgruntled right now with his team. He's a top 6 defenseman. Maybe he could be a depth guy if his overall, or his, what's his face? His morale changes, but Oshie could possibly go for a first. Let me actually compare TJ Oshie to that first overall pick. So TJ Oshie's trade value is near, what is that? Like halfway between the V and the A. And the LA Kings is, first round pick is between the V and the A. Okay, so it's a little bit more than that, so we definitely have to add on something else. Let's see. We have 2 first rounders. Like I said, we could hold on to those, which I plan on doing. We don't have a 6th round pick this year, which is, you know, that's alright. But we could get 3 first round picks again to really just stock up, continuously stock up on draft picks. What else could we give? We could give up our second. Because, you know, if we're giving up, or if we're trading for a first, we can definitely give up our second and get that first. So, Oshie and a second for the first. And let's just see if there's anything else the Los Angeles Kings have. You know, do they have a second line, do they have that young second line player that I could possibly want to bring in here? Let's see. Tyler Toffoli, a little bit too old, 27. We're looking for that 20, like 24 range and his decent overall. Let's see if there's any players like that on the LA Kings or not. Not, maybe we could just throw somebody else in there. Like I said, Jeff Carter, Lucic. Closest guy is Spencer Watson, but that's about it. Valentin Sykes, a little bit too low of an overall and too young to get it done. So, yeah, I think we could just settle for this. It's a cap dump, and we move up to get the first overall pick in this year's draft if the LA Kings do accept this. So, TJ Oshie and a second round pick to the LA Kings for a first overall pick in this year's draft, plus Ryan Stanton, just to get some salary cap relief. We'll drop him off and for free agency this coming year as well. So, Oshie and a second for the LA Kings first and Ryan Stanton. Will this go through? Trade accepted. There's not too much to deliberate on this deal. I think the Los Angeles fans think we came out ahead here. All right, so TJ Oshie is now gone from the Philadelphia Flyers. We got a lot of cap relief once again, but we do manage to pick up the first overall pick in this year's draft. So like I said, that was a pretty solid deal, I believe so, for the Flyers. Give up a second and TJ Oshie for the first overall pick in this year's draft. And we have ourselves a nice little selection of players here. Now, there is a goaltender in the top 10, which I could possibly pick, but I'm not going to. His potential is elite, too. Like, he has exact potential to become elite. Tom Hickman. Goaltender prospect, but he's top 10. I don't want to waste the top 10 pick on that when we have 5 potential players to go right here. So we could either take Jimmy Kwiatkowski, who is top 5 potential with high potential for become a top 6 forward, 20 years old. We can go with Earl Grantham, 18-year-old sniper, high potential to become a top 6 forward once again. Lots of stats in the 80s. Lots of stats in the 80s on this guy for Earl Grantham. And like I said, the Flyers need snipers of the future. We need snipers. Not many snipers in our farm system other than Abe Kubel and O'Sullivan. But you know what? We definitely need some more snipers for that top line when Giroux and Voracek are out here. So Earl Grantham might not be a bad choice right there. Bernard Solis, we do not know much about him. He's a AHL top 2 defenseman. We don't really need defensemen right now. We're young enough as it is. Maxim Kovalev, power forward, Russian. Like I said, we don't know much about him. And then Jerry Castles, we don't know much about him. Another two-way defenseman. So I think the obvious option to go for right here would be the right wing sniper Earl Grantham from the Edmonton Oil Kings. Obviously, the team that produced Joseph Bojoko, the new Flyers goaltender. But I think that this is the obvious choice here. It's either a power forward like Kwiatkowski or Earl Grantham, the sniper, 18 years old. I think this guy has a little bit more of a bigger upside than Kwiatkowski does. You know, power forward could be the next Milan Lucic or something like that, or, you know, other power forwards like that. But I think it is definitely obvious here to go with Earl Grantham with our first overall pick from the Edmonton Oil Kings, right wing sniper, and he has medium potential to become elite. So that is exactly what I'm talking about, and we will take that. Definitely a really good pick there from the Flyers, trading away Oshie in a second, and we pick up Earl Grantham, and plus we still have 2 later first round picks as well. All right, so not too bad. Not too bad at all. Earl Grantham. Let's see. Let's sim the pick from the Florida Panthers. They actually took Solis, so Florida wants to give us a second and a third for our pick. So this one, I'm not really sure which one this is, but Florida wants to give us a second and a third for our first. Well, Florida's second round pick, their second and their third is actually going to be pretty high. So basically we're moving back in the draft a bit, like a couple spots. So we will move back a couple spots and probably get like the first or the second round pick in the second round. So that might not be bad. We get an extra pick in there. extra chance to get a good player. We could do that, or we could just take the first. What do we want to do? Do we want to make the pick, or do we want to trade back? Florida looks like they're a rebuilding type of team, so they could actually use a better pick. We get 2 more picks. Do I want to do this or not? I'm getting texts on my damn phone. That's my cell phone going off. It's my GM calling me saying, take the trade, Joe. I'm going to decline that trade. Florida can definitely come back to me with that. But let me see. In the second round, let me see. So that would probably be the 23rd pick, right? Because well, actually, that might be the 18th. Round number 2. Where's Florida's pick? That would be... Oh, they have the first overall pick in the second round. So whatever didn't get taken in the first, we could actually go after. So let's continue to sim pick by pick here. Let's see, because we're gonna get a lot of trades in from other teams as well. So we'll see if we actually get anything from other teams. Yeah, same thing. A second and the third. Oh, that's in next year's third though. No. Decline that trade. No way. No way am I moving back in the draft for a third next year. So the Florida Panthers actually took Solis, who was high potential for a top 4 defenseman, so not really a good pick there. And the Montreal Canadiens sweep in at third and take Kwiatkowski with the third, medium potential, become elite as a power forward. So really good job there by the Montreal Canadiens. Bad pick by the Florida Panthers. All right, 2 second-round picks from the Sharks. No thanks. Kovalev was a top 6 power forward as well. Both of our firsts for the Coyotes first and a second for next year. Is Arizona gonna be a good team? No, Arizona is gonna be a good team. They have Max Domi and Anthony Duclair. No way they're gonna be a bad team. Decline that trade. All right, let's sim options. Sim to the user pick. We'll see if we get any trades in for our pick. Our first and Nick Patan for next year's first. So Arizona can take this pick right now. We get Arizona's first round pick next year. We still hold on to 1 pick, and Nick Patan goes in the deal as well. Do we really think Arizona's gonna be a bad team here? I mean, let's take a look at Arizona's team before we actually make this trade. So Arizona's first round pick for next year, and Nick Patan for, let's see, how good is this Coyotes team gonna be next year? Let's see. They have, let's see, they have Andrew Ladd. Let's sort by overall first. It is going to be Andrew Ladd, Reeder, Dolphin, Max Domi, Duclair, Perlini. Now, they got a lot of mid-80 overall players, and they're very young. They're going to be better next year. No. I don't think so, Arizona. You're not going to fleece me on this deal. First, nope. First and a third for Patan, nope. First and Patan for first and a fourth, nope. Like I said, it's going to go by every round. New York Rangers, a third for this year, and a first next year for the Rangers, nope. It's going to go by everything. I should have freaking cleared my trading block. This is going to be a little bit annoying. All right. Yep, this will be a little bit annoying. First for this year, swap with the Rangers for next year. Devils won it. First, like I said, for the second. Still the second and the third for Florida. It's the first overall pick in the second. Nah, decline the trade. Alright, so we're here at the 18th overall pick, which is ours as well. Let's just see if there's anything else that went here. Boston picked up that Comrie guy who was elite sniper as well. Elite goaltender, Hickman. Yep, he was elite, medium potential, so the Devils got that player. Starters, okay, not too bad so far. Alright, so we picked up a sniper with our first overall pick. 18-year-old. Let's see if we have anything here available in, still once in this round, what we got. Alright, McBride, a goaltender. Drafting a goalie right now would not be a bad idea. Howard McBride, 18-year-old, 6'1", from the Barrie Colts, 18 years old, left-handed glove. I think I might take this goaltender here. We need some goaltender prospects. Nobody really in that goaltender department is really like just jumping out as like elite potential. So I think taking a goaltender here would not be a bad idea. So you know what? Medium potential to become a backup. Let's take him. Howard McBride with the 18th overall pick in the first round. And medium potential to become elite. That could be our goaltender of the future right there. Howard McBride with the 18th overall pick, another medium potential elite player, and that's a goaltender as well. That could actually be a really big pick up there for the Flyers. All right, so trade pick, we don't want to do that. And that could be another good pick there. All right, so let's send to the user pick. That our last first round pick in Bataan for the picks next year. No thanks. All right, Florida still wants to do that second and a third. I didn't really see anything else that I really wanted, to be perfectly honest, out of those guys from the list that I saw that I remember seeing. So you know what, Florida? I fleeced you guys long enough. You probably still want that player. So you know what? I'm going to accept this deal now. I'm going to move down and take their first overall pick in the second round. And they also give me a third for next year. So I'm going to take this trade on behalf of the Florida Panthers. Nick Bataan for a second. Second round pick for Nick Bataan as a depth player. Don't really think he's going to fit on the team all too well because, you know, we're going to have some new players coming in. Second round pick from the Arizona Coyotes, and they were drafting pretty high if I do remember. We could just completely clean this Flyers team out, just making trades here, just getting in some picks. Yeah, because you know what? We're going to have like 3 or 4 players move up from the AHL team to the NHL team, so we are going to need to restock the prospects a little bit, and we might actually make some trades for roster spots in addition to that. So I think we are going to do this. Nick Bataan, you know what? You really didn't turn out all too well here, man. Well, I'm going to decline it. I'm going to wait on him. We'll see what happens with Nick Bataan. But I am going to make that trade, though, with the Florida Panthers. So we did make the trade with the Florida Panthers. We moved down in the draft. So they get our 23rd overall pick. Anything else really good there? No. So Florida goes in at 23rd and takes a top 6 grinder with that pick from we did. So they really wanted that grinder, it seems. So we moved down a couple spots. Not too bad. There was an elite power forward there in Pollock, another elite goaltender in Sidor, and another elite potential sniper, Soden, at the sniper position. That was the other guy who I was thinking of taking. So the Vancouver Canucks came in and stole that player from me. So nice job by the Vancouver Canucks team to sweep in there and steal that pick. All right, so we have a sniper. We have a goaltender that we've picked up so far. There's still 3 first-round, second-round players here in Generous, Pedersen, and Hannon. We can get a two-way forward. There's also a top 9 sniper, a playmaker, and a power forward. Also defensive defensemen down here as well. A lot of really good potential players, it seems, in this year's draft. A lot of top 9 guys. Generous is the only guy still left here as a center. Murray Generous. Two-way forward. Doesn't look to be anything too spectacular, in my personal opinion, off of his stats. But we could also take Hannon, an offensive defenseman, which I don't think we need. Another sniper, which I don't think we need. So maybe taking the two-way forward actually wouldn't be a bad idea. So we could probably take it back up there. Generous, a Canadian. Or there's also these guys up here, a grinder, 2 power forwards. Yeah, let's take Generous. Let's take the smart pick here. Murray Generous, medium potential to become elite. So with our 3 picks so far in this draft, the Philadelphia Flyers have picked up 3 medium potential players. And that is absolutely nuts. So let's send to the user pick. Here in the second round, Nick Bataan for a 3rd and a 4th. No, thank you. All right, Nick Bataan for a 3rd and a 4th. And all right, we're in the 3rd round here. So we didn't have a second because we traded that to we traded that to the LA Kings there in the 2nd round. We got the 1st overall pick in the 2nd round, as a matter of fact, anyway. So it ended up working out for us. We traded away a 2nd, but we still got back our 2nd anyway. So it actually kind of worked out in favor of us, to say the least. Trading away that LA Kings pick for Oshie to get the 1st, and then moving back in the draft and letting Florida draft us with that to get our 2nd back anyway. So not too bad. Ross there, medium potential power forward. Let's see, Banich. Who did the LA Kings take with our pick is what I want to know. So the LA Kings took MacGyver, a center grinder with a top 9 potential, 7 defensemen. That sucks for the Tampa Bay Lightning. Definitely a lot more better players that could have been picked up here. All right, so we're in the 3rd round here. We're a late 3rd round pick. Any other good steals still left to be here? Yeah, there's still some top 4 players, a starter, goaltender, and that Hansen guy, a lot of bottom 6. There's a top 6 player there in Hickett's. Top 9, top 4, defenseman. All right, let's continue to go here. So we still are continuing our trend with 3 medium elite potential players so far in this round. All right, so there's one third round guy still left available, and his name is Kozhivnikov, Yuri Kozhivnikov. So he is a sniper, but we already have a sniper. Sniper again, I'm a thought. Sniper again, I'm McGinnis. Once again, I think I'm going to take best potential and best projection right now. So, we could have Richardson, McGinnis. Who's this Richardson guy? Devin Richardson, a power forward, 19 years old, from Brandon Wheat Kings. Ours do have a couple Brandon Wheat Kings players. McGinnis, a sniper. Let's see who else. The thought, Grinder, 2-way forward in the 4th round. Ronning. Jimmy Ronning, another 2-way forward. We could go with another sniper. I think we should probably go with another sniper. Yeah, let's continue to stock up the shelves with another sniper. Why not? And Kozhivnikov is a sniper. 3rd round. We don't know much about him. Let's take a Russian. Let's take a risk on a Russian. And he is a medium potential for a top 9 forward. Not too bad as another sniper. So not too bad. Let's send to the user pick. Carolina just got Mark Giordano as well during this draft, which is not bad. Top 6 potential there. All right, so 4th round. See if we can pick up anything fantastic here in the 4th round. Let's again. Gonna be starting to get near the bottom end of the echelon players. So I'm gonna see projected if there's any 4th, 5th round guys. Yeah, there's a couple 4th, 5th round guys. I think I'd take this guy, LaBarbera. He has the best potential here, or this guy. So I can either take LaBarbera or Simmered. All right, so we want either LaBarbera, Corey LaBarbera, the Norwegian. Okay, as a 2-way forward from Ryman Luco. Or we could take Simmered, Guy Simmered from the Gatineau Olympics. So we could take either guy from the Swedes, the SHL, or we take a guy from the QMJHL. 18-year-old power forward, Canadian, left winger. Or we take LaBarbera. Simmered is supposed to be top 9 potential, but 4th and 5th. Let's go with LaBarbera. Let's take the Norwegian here. Low potential for top 9. Not too bad. Since the user pick. 32 minutes already so far in this draft, so we'll definitely do resign stage next time. I think we only have one more pick left anyway, because we all have a 6th this year. Alright, so projected, we are in the 5th round right now. Lots of 5th and 6th round guys left. So, best potential. There's a lot of bottom 6 known guys here. Why don't we take a grinder? Let's take an American grinder. Let's take Wayne Moss. Let's take this guy. 5th or 6th rounder here. A grinder. Bottom 6 forward. Not too shabby. Pick up an American grinder. And then let's see if we can pick up a defenseman here with this last pick, just because we can. Last overall pick here. Best potential. Best potential, AHL top 6. Playmaker, Livingston, Shore, AHL top 6. Exactly what he was. Okay. Since the user pick, should finish up the draft. Draft is now complete. There was a Kincaid guy with the last overall pick. All right, so we still managed to pick up 4 players in this year's draft, including the 1st overall pick in a massive trade with the LA Kings, sending over TJ Oshie in a 2nd and picking up the 1st overall pick, and drafting Grantham 1st overall, McBride, and Generous. 3 medium elite potential players in a row, and a sniper, a goaltender, and I believe a center 2-way forward. So should be looking pretty good for the Flyers come the re-sign stage. We got rid of Cap as well, and I think our young players are really going to start transitioning into this Flyers team, and soon to be hopefully making what it is. We also made a couple trades for draft picks as well. You know, getting in as many draft picks as we possibly can. Made a nice little trade with the Florida Panthers to move back, getting an extra pick for next year. Don't know how valuable that pick will be, but we shall see. But we're going to do re-signs next time, guys, since this draft video was very, very long. And I thank you guys for watching. So if you did enjoy, leave a like, comment, subscribe as always. See you guys next time.